Hello, beautiful people on the other side of the screen. You are now tuned into Audiotree Live. Today is Tuesday, October 31st, Halloween. Ooh. And I am your host, Psalm 1, and a happy holidays to all you ghouls out there who celebrate. What's up to all my first-time Audiotree watchers? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. But if you watch more than one of these videos and you haven't subscribed, you have no excuse. You're truly terrifying and don't deserve nice things. So please remedy that now. And while you're at it, follow Audiotree on Spotify, Bandcamp, or wherever you bang your music. Today we have Australian songstress Leah Senior in studio with some very amazing musicians by her side. This is raw yet gentle lyricism wrapped up in a modern folky blanket. Great melodies, vulnerability, and unabashed clarity make this music for the hopeless romantic in me, and hopefully y'all too. Ladies, and gentlemen, please welcome Leah Senior.
Country boys, I'll only waste your time. I'm just talking about leaving this place, leaving it all behind. 'Cause I get confused with my wants and wishes, tension between being free and ambitious. I wanna be liked, I wanna be alone, wanna lose myself, but I wanna stay at home. 'Cause I get worn out with the conversation, I distrust in the high talk and false adoration. So I ride my bike through the unknown streets, I try to calm the restless tides in me. I wanna feel young, I wanna feel alive. Worrying about my frown only deepens the line. And I get put out by the music business, but I'm grateful to the people who come along and listen. I'm getting older and I'll never stop. In fact, I'm more dedicated, though I keep working my day job. It's a labor of love, it's a labor of love. And I'm thankful I've got the direction and the gift of expression. Sit up on some high shelf. I don't wanna add to the noise, but hide myself. I wanna let you in, don't wanna be afraid what you think about me and the music that I made. It's a labor of love, it's a labor of love. Springtime is here again. Feels like nothing can go wrong. It's just me and the flowers and my song. But that's no way to live a life. Every time that I feel threatened, I turn away from everybody and hide. When I'm on top, I'm kind and carefree. But how gracious will I be when the attention turns its lights out on me? Time's not kind to anybody. Some days I wish that I knew less, so I could turn back to my youthful optimism and romantic hopelessness. Used to feel good to waste the day. Now I pull myself up early, and even then I rarely find the time to play. An iron, it straightens out the ends. No longer flying, but there's less tears, less tears, less tears. Springtime is here again. Instead of locking myself away, I'm gonna go out into the day and see my friend.
Yes, we're here with Leah, Andy, and Jesse, the dynamic trio performing as Leah Senior. Hey, y'all.
Hello, Sam.
How are you? How are you feeling? How's everything?
We're feeling good. We're getting to the end of a pretty long tour. So yeah, we're on the home stretch now.
Guitar strings, heartstrings, all being pulled with each and every song. Thank you so much for being here. You said you're at the end of your first U.S. headlining tour, correct?
Yep, that's right.
Okay, how's the Midwest been treating you so far?
It's been great. It's been mostly highways, a couple of diners.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's been great.
I saw on your Instagram that you've been enjoying a little bit of gas station quirky food like crickets and things like that. Whose idea is that, and who's the more adventurous eater?
For sure, I think that would be Jack, our bass player, who isn't here right now, but he gets into it. I think he's always trying to find the next. What's that shop that he likes to shop at? Not Quite Right. He's always going for the stuff that nobody likes, that gets rejected. We've had crickets. I don't know. I'm pretty adventurous. We'll all have a crack.
Yeah. We've had some worms as well.
Some worms.
Delicious.
Yeah. They weren't so bad.
Yeah. Tasted like chips, really.
I'm going to take your word for it on that. I believe you. So when I was a kid, right, I thought Australia was all kangaroos and Crocodile Dundee. An Outback Steakhouse, which is delicious, by the way. Were there any like silly associations you had with the United States as a kid or growing up? And what do you think now?
Oh, I don't know. I guess like The Simpsons was the big, that's what I thought of when I thought of America when I was younger. But it's kind of is what I imagined it to be, which is kind of why I love it so much. I don't know. I love it over here. What about you?
Yeah, I think, it was basically just TV, Seinfeld as well. And yeah, I mean, it feels like when we arrive, it sort of feels like we're in a movie, just starring us in America.
Yeah, obviously all the pop culture and, it's like the Mecca for us. It's awesome. Yeah.
Big personalities and, big
everyone's
places.
way more extroverted and sincere over here, which is nice. It's really fun.
We're definitely like The Simpsons. Like, it's true.
Hell yeah.
So the lyrics in your first track, The Music That I Make, was actually the title track. And also, before I get into the question, congratulations on the new album. It's kind of like a newborn still.
Yeah.
It just came out a little while ago. So the lyrics in that song, they kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, especially it's a labor of love, and I'm thankful that I've got the direction and the gift of expression. That's hard. Those lyrics are great.
Thank you.
What's a common misconception some people have about being in the music business and doing that labor of love? And also, how do you balance making songs for you and making songs for public consumption?
Yeah, good question. I feel like there's just endless misconceptions from, the general public about what it means to be a musician. Mostly just the financial side.
Yes, because you're rich.
We get money from streaming. I mean, that's a huge myth, I think when I was writing this album, I had a lot of time at home. It was during the lockdowns. And it was just really, really enjoyable to come back to, just writing for the sake of writing. And I think that's where for me, it's always got to be like the making part of the thing is why I do it. I try not to, worry about all the other stuff because it's not really real. The only real part is the part where you're in a room and you're playing to people or you're in a bedroom making music. That, those are the most enjoyable things for me. So I guess you just try. That said, of course, I get caught up in wanting validation, and it's complicated. We're messy people, where everybody's. But I think I always just have to remind myself that the most important part is just worrying about what I'm doing when I'm in a room on my own writing songs.
Were you trying to make this album the way it was, or did it just kind of happen among, the time that you were writing and you were like, oh, I got something? Or did you have kind of this theme in mind as you were
not super consciously. I feel like, I guess I was thinking a lot about all this stuff. I was thinking about just wanting to put more of myself into the songs and feeling, I guess that was the goal that I had. It's like I want to try and be a little more direct with my writing and be a little more unafraid to just, express, be very autobiographical.
Absolutely. I caught that from your last album to this present one, that the lyrics seemed a lot more introspective.
For sure.
And a lot more vulnerable. And I think that when you put yourself out there, it feels so scary. But I think you get the most return out of that as being relatable.
Totally, yeah. The more specific, the more everybody kind of can relate, I guess.
Yeah, and you feel like kind of not so much alone.
For sure.
Yeah. You talk about a day job in that song too.
Mm-hmm.
What other jobs have y'all had besides musician?
Yeah, I teach piano at a school.
Okay.
That's my day job. Yeah, Jesse's a gardener.
Yeah, I do gardening
and engineer
and record bands in Australia.
I make ceramics and art and coffee.
Okay, so a lot of art still. Jesse, do you find any parallels between gardening and engineering?
Wow, that's an interesting thought.
Didn't a friend of yours once said you're a gardener because you flourish around you. You really,
Well,
yeah,
I mean,
which is
that's
sweet.
a really nice. That's a nice.
I think
comment
it's
from
true.
someone
I back
won't,
that.
I won't say that about
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
Obviously,
A green thumb of music, so to speak.
I feel like I really like. I like the mental space that gardening and sort of menial or like tasks where you can sort of just like focus on the task and not really have to like engage your mind. I feel like it's a really nice mental space for processing like music that you're working on, or like even just having time to listen to things with like a different perspective, like in a different space. Like, yeah, I feel like they can be complementary in some ways.
Absolutely. Well, I'm so anxious to get into some more music, and I see Andy, you've come over, so I can't wait to hear it. When you all are ready, let's get into your next song.
My Palomino horse through the countryside. They won't let me drive, so I ride. Bone whistling wind, waltzing along, me and my friend, and the willy wagtails and the wig-tailed wallies calling out to me and my pony. We've got a long way to go, but I'm not giving up on hope. Though the earth is now well worn, there's a new seed sprouting to green with every dawn. And there's no good turning around, 'cause I'm not gonna settle down. I'm gonna follow the path where the wild geese fly, take my Palomino pony and ride. Just do a quick little tune, and we'll get Jessie on piano. as a cloud claims the sky as its own, the whole summer sky as its own, all its own, and then blown. And fame is a bee, according to Emily. The boughs in the wind, see it fly, has a wind, has a sting. Now you're wondering why you're lonely again. But hope is a high-heeled horse, changing its course, the space in between the blade and the green of the grass. And I said you don't cut it down to feel tall as you wander through town. Now you're wondering why there's no one around. But hope is a high-heeled horse, changing its course, the sun on your back as you fly off the track, and trust the winter will pass. And I know there's a hole in your heart. Well, turn around and we'll take it back from the start. Because love is a wind, I don't know where it begins or where it ends. Turn around and come back to me, my friend. Play an older song. One, two, one, two. We're the ones who visit the graves of the rock stars, treading softly on ashes and stardust. I miss the silence of a crowd when they're so wrapped up in the sound. They're not shrinking it all to a scream. They're sinking down into what it means to feel free. And the seasons are dying now too. Will you take all the poets with you? I miss the places I've never been to. You know I'm not the sharpest, but I have a song. Keep me afloat when the world moves on, to feel free. to feel free. Oh.
You just heard Graves, a sweet ditty by none other than Leah Senior. I know music can be really therapeutic, but when you're trying to like unplug from this crazy world, what do y'all do to unwind?
I would say painting, but that also kind of winds me up.
Why is that? Wait, before you get, why is that? Because sometimes you're like, it's
Oh,
not
just-
looking like I envisioned, and then you get kind of like,
Totally. It's like, it can start off really good and then I can leave feeling pretty awful. Jessie surfs constantly. I like to like get in the ocean and surf a little bit.
Frolic.
I
if you
frolic.
will.
I love a good frolic.
Andy frolics.
I love an ocean frolic. Yeah.
Nice.
And painting and stuff, obviously. Yeah.
Hula
Yeah.
hooping.
People think I'm mean sometimes by the way I present.
What?
And they're wrong, right? I'm a teddy bear for real. Leah, you seem so sweet, right? But your sister Andy is here.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, I'm gonna ask you: is Leah a sweetheart or not?
Oh, she has her ups and downs. But no, she's very sweet most of the time.
What about you think, Jessie?
I
Is
think
this an intervention?
yeah. I think she's one of the kindest people I know. Yes.
Thanks, Jessie.
Yeah. I'll second that.
Andy, I'll talk to you later.
Little restructuring of things. Yeah, I get that too. Like I wouldn't say I'm an empath or anything, but fellow sweethearts, I'm like squishy. Okay, it feels squishy in here. I love that. When I was a kid, two of my cousins and I just knew we were gonna have this R&B band, and we wrote a little song called "You," which I won't torture you with right now. But we hit the harmonies exactly once out of maybe dozens of tries. But that one time we were like, we're going to be famous. This is amazing. Like these harmonies, we hit these. How easy is it for you two as sisters to capture that magic? And when did you realize your harmonies were like something special? Do you have a moment that you
that's
recall?
sweet. I don't know. We've been singing together for a long time, but in this kind of form, we've been probably, I don't know, in our very early 20s or
Yeah, I
something,
think
we started singing together.
I was like 18 maybe.
Yeah.
When
Yeah, I don't know. It's always fun to sing with siblings. Yeah, I feel like it's fun. Sometimes when we sing together, we get really phasey, and then we laugh.
Then it cracks us
yeah.
up.
So you've been singing together since you were just little kids.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like
Yeah.
intuitive. Okay, it sounds like that, but sometimes there's like that moment where you're like,
Oh,
And we got
yeah.
that.
I don't know if I mean, I can't remember it being like that. Maybe just because we've done it for so long.
Yeah, it
It's-
feels
yeah.
very intuitive.
absolutely, that's fair. What part of the creation process do you favor these days? I know we kind of talked about that in the last
Yeah.
break, but I kind of categorize them as writing, recording, performing. Which one? I mean, you're performing a lot these days, but what do you kind of favor today? Let's say today, because things can change.
Totally. Performing is kind of new. I haven't performed that much, really. And I do really enjoy it. I wasn't sure if I would, but I feel like I'm enjoying the performing side more and more. But I would still say that my favorite part is writing a song. Yeah.
It's magic. How about Andy? What do you think?
I don't. I kind of tuned out for a second.
Oh, it's all good. Which one? It's fine. Writing, recording, performing. What are you into these
Well,
days?
I love to perform. I don't write at all myself.
Okay.
So that's all Leah. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. Jesse, what about you? What are you liking these days?
Oh, I mean, I always love recording. It's just like so fun to just see things sort of, I don't know, take shape or like surprise you. But then it's really nice playing, like performing regularly and sort of like us together as well as the other two in our band. If you're playing every night, things just like sort of change and like become like a little bit more improvisational subtly, and I don't know, you just sort of do things that you wouldn't have thought of. Like you just get really in tune. So I think, performing is like, it all sort of like feeds back into each other bit, and like, you know, it all becomes more creative the more you do it.
How do you know when a song is done? Do you get a feeling? Are you like, that's it, I'm stepping away?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like the easy part. Or I feel like it's just when you've said what you need to say, kind of. I feel like the harder part is like figuring out when a song is, when a song starts. You know, I feel like it's like you've got to be so open all the time to finding the songs, if that makes sense.
No, it makes total sense. So this won't air on Halloween. Today is Halloween. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask a spooky question. Do you have any recent Halloween memories that you're fond of?
Yeah, I was trying to think. We were saying in Australia, it's just not such a big deal. But I do remember when we were kids, we would take advantage of that by just going trick or treating on any night, and banking on the fact that nobody knew when Halloween actually was. So we would do that a little bit.
We got some snacks.
We got some snacks and some money.
Money? Tell me the address.
But last year we played in Oklahoma City with King Gizzard, and that was really fun. We had sort of scrambled and all dressed up as witches last minute. We had used a shower curtain from the venue and hats, and that was really fun. It's fun being over here and seeing all the pumpkins, and we love it.
Pumpkins, candy, begging. It's the American way, you know what I mean?
Actually, we dressed Jesse up in a sheet and filmed him on a zip line. That was a pretty spooky little Halloween.
Yeah, it was a very
video.
Convincing ghost.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're getting into the spirit.
Good, yeah. Good. I'm glad you're getting into the spirit. So let's get into your last song.
Cool.
Whenever you're ready.
I led you on to thinking I was sweet, 'cause I sing so high and clean. But I'm selfish as a cat and I'm hungry as the sea, and I cling to my own time like a child up a tree. I let myself believe that I was free, and you know I'd like to be, but I'm a slave to the feeling that surrounds me, pulling something from the air around me. Some days I look into the mirror and see no reflection, and so I turn towards the faces, see only questions. I get on a roll and do it right, then I let go of the wheel, and the child in me cries out to be loved, to feel that a body is enough. Some days I look into the mirror and see no reflection, and so I find gives me direction. You know it gives me direction. But where am I now? I feel myself drifting out. Yeah, where am I now? I feel myself spinning out. But you pull me in, yeah, you pull me in, you pull me in. All right, let's finish with something light. I never thought I'd be evergreen. I never thought I'd be evergreen. Everybody is finding their stride. I can't get to mine. Why do I follow that line? You know the sun just won't shine through unless I like what I do. I never thought that would be employed
Beautiful. A very big thank you to Leah Senior for blessing us today. And as always, major love to everyone here at Audiotree, spreading the gospel of live music. These beautiful humans are finishing up a U.S. tour right now, but please make sure to grab tickets when you see them playing in your area. Also get into their spanking new album, The Music That I Make, because you love good music and we want you to thrive. Once again, likes are good, but subscribing to Audiotree means you get these dope videos at the top of your feed as soon as they drop, so please make sure to do that. Get cool merch at audiotree.shop, and if you want just the session audio, get it on Apple, Tidal, or wherever you stream your music. Finally, follow Audiotree on social media for more fun content. I'm someone, and I'm here for good music and good conversation. Till next time, stay dangerous. Peace.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?